Okay, hello, grade fives. Welcome back to another lesson. So, this is our magical mixtures part of our potions unit. So, I'm going to have to do this in several videos, and I apologize, but I'm just too cheap to pay for the premium version of Screencastify. So, in this lesson, what we're going to be talking about is we're going to be talking about different types of mixtures. We're going to be talking about colloids, we're going to be talking about solutions, and we're going to be talking about mechanical mixtures. You guys are going to talk a little bit about trying to separate mixtures, and then ideally over Google Classroom, we're going to try and do some group work. If not, whatever. Not my mountain to die on right now. So, if you guys remember, we have talked a lot about the idea that everything on Earth is made up of matter, and all matter is made up of tiny particles, and all these tiny particles have spaces between them, and these tiny particles are always moving. We know that. We've talked about that so much that you might actually push me out of a classroom window. We know that everything is made out of matter. The air, even if you can't see it, water is made out of matter. You are made out of matter. Plants are made out of matter. Everything, if it takes up space and it has a mass, it's made out of matter. And we know that matter can be found, for the intents and purposes of grade 5 in 3 different states. We can have solids, we can have liquids, we can have gases, and there's a video right here for you to watch later. So, before we start this lesson, there's some really important terms that you need to know. And those are solute, solvent, and solution. So, a solute, I want you to think about the next time you're making iced tea while you're on isolation. The solute would be all of those iced tea crystals that you stick into your glass. Okay, some of you guys are going to be like me, where you're like, oh, less is more. And some of you guys are going to be like, nasty, but like so much of those sugar crystals in there. Okay, the solute is what you're actually mixing in and actually dissolving. Now, the water in this case is what we're going to call the solvent. And the solvent is the substance that you are dissolving the solute in. Okay, so solute is what we dissolve, and the solvent is what does the dissolving. Now, when you take a solute and you add a solvent, what you get is what's called a solution. And the solution is a mixture, because you've taken, in this example, juice crystals or iced tea crystals, the solute, and you've mixed it with water, the solvent, and you put it together, you get a solution. Now, solutions are great because we use them all the time. In terms of real life, it could be delicious things that you're drinking, or you could be making iced tea, and all of these really cool things. I'm going to move on. I'm just yapping. Okay, so we know that scientists who study chemistry, they're called chemists. They do lots of mixing, and we think of them as being like super cool because they are. Okay, nerds are the best, but you guys can actually make a lot of mixtures at home, and fingers crossed, you guys will be able to within this lesson. So, I want you to take a step back and let's talk a little bit about matter. We know that everything's made out of matter, but let's talk a little bit more about how we can separate matter, more than just solids, liquids, and gases. Matter can be classified either as a pure substance or it can be classified as a mixture. Now, a pure substance is literally that. It's a substance that is pure. It's made out of only one type of matter. So it could be water that's been distilled. It could be pure gold. It could even be, pure table salt or pure carbon. Mixtures are combinations of different substances. So things like pop or iced tea or dirt or vegetable soup or, spaghetti sauce. Those would be all examples of mixtures. So far, we know this. Matter can be separated into mixtures or pure substances. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit further on the mixture side. Now, there are 4 types of mixtures that we're going to be talking about, some more than others, but there's mechanical mixtures, solutions, suspensions, and colloids. So when we're talking about mechanical mixtures are mixtures where you can see all the parts, right? You know that when your mom's making you supper and she mixes all your vegetables together and you're like, oh, gross, my peas are touching my corn, or whatever you guys complain about. That's what we would call a mechanical mixture. You can see all the little pieces that are making that up. Another word that we use for mechanical mixtures would be heterogeneous mixtures. And of course, we're going to break this down into its Latin and Greek prefixes and suffixes, So hetero means different. gene means parts, and es means